Catalan Dragons 18. That's it, I think, now for Wakefield Trinity. They have put up a very spirited effort, haven't they? But alas, I think now it is a step too far. 4 points separating them from the Castleford Tigers, and of course, a superior for and against for Castleford as well. It's too much now for Waking. I think, the fact that we saw David Fafita at full time take his boots to the halfway line and place them down in what were emotional scenes pretty much says it all. Well done, though, to David Fafita. I think he put a real injection of positivity into Wakefield since coming back from the Magic Weekend, of course, and doing this run of games. It's given them a chance, but alas, that chance is no more. It's been a real shocking season for Wakey at times. They've had some big injuries. Of course, Tanganoa back for this one. He's missed the lion's share of the season, of course, in this one. Also, no Jar Whitbread in this one either, and he, for me, has been critical all year for Wakey. He wasn't involved either. It's just petered out a little bit, hasn't it? They've just not really played well over the last 3 or 4 weeks now, Wakey. And, they'll be disappointed to go. Of course they will. And now, of course, the clamour will be on for some of their top stars. You'd expect maybe the likes of Max Jowett could be on the radar. There's a lot of talk over Jai Whitbread maybe moving on at the end of the season. That could, of course, be the case. It's going to be very interesting to see if there aren't many comings and goings. They'll fancy the chances, of course, to come back to Super League under IMG proposals, providing, of course, the goalposts don't change between now and the 2025 season, and IMG's criteria is actually adopted. There's loads of question marks over that at the moment in terms of how is that relationship between the Rugby Football League and IMG. Question. But yeah, I mean, Wakey for me, they've been poor. I think they've got a couple of wins earlier in the campaign. Of course, my mind goes back to Salford when I think they went to Salford earlier in the season, and they came away from that one having lost by a solitary point. That was an opportunity there for Wakey. He played well in that game. I think had they picked maybe 1, maybe 2 wins up in those earlier rounds, then it would have been Castleford, I think, that would have been going down this season. But, that's just all hearsay now. It is Wakey that are gone. It's a real shame for those guys. Feel for Mark Applegarth, but, let's see what the future holds for them. And I just hope now that, they don't get pulverised in the last few games of the season. Wakey, of course, taking on the Lee Leopards at the Leopards Den next week. They'll want to be bouncing back after that St. Helens defeat, and then it's KR last game of the season. So 2 really tough games, 2 sides that, let's be fair, if they get a roll on, are more than capable of putting on some points. And Wakey, I think now probably the bubble burst. So yeah, it could be a difficult couple of weeks now for Wakefield Trinity fans, but hey, it's been a difficult season, hasn't it? Anyway, as for Catalan Dragons, again, not convincing. 18-10. Yes, they had travel disruption last week. Maybe that affected them a little bit. Not a classic performance, this from Catalan. They will be concerned about that going into the playoffs. They just seems to have petered off a bit, haven't they? That Wigan defeat at home for me really stung them, the 34-0. And then, of course, last week against KR in what was a tighter affair, but still a loss. We can't really say too much about this one against Wakey. The good news for Catalan, though, is that they've got Leeds. I think Leeds they'll want to bounce back after that Wigan performance this week, but at home against the Leeds side that, quite frankly, has got no halves in it at all. A lot of players moving on next season. I'd expect Catalan to maybe get the better of Leeds in that. And then Salford away last game. That could be a tricky game, especially if Salford are still in contention for the playoffs, because, of course, we've seen what's happened at the Salford Community Stadium today in terms of the Warrington Wolves results. So it's still game on there for Salford. That's going to be very interesting indeed for the Catalan Dragons as they go into the latter stages of the season. Tom Johnston, well done to him. Back level with Josh Charlie now at the top of the try-scoring chart, 25 for the season. He's had a brilliant season as well. We said on Super League World Weekly last week, we thought Arthur Morg needed to play again at full-back. He played there. Very assured performance and a good assist as well for the Adam Kieran try. Kieran will be missed. I mean, what a team Wigan have got next year. We'll review that, of course, in January, but dearie me, the Wigan Warriors next year looking frighteningly good indeed. But yeah, all in all, some really solid performances as well up front. Leverett, 108 metres from him, 107 metres from Julien Busquet. Busquet's had a good season as well, hasn't he, for the Catalan Dragons? Very consistent indeed. But like I say, at the moment, you look at the way the league is, I think Lee have still got a bit of bite in them. Saints and Wigan clearly in the groove at this moment in time. Not so sure about Catalan, not so sure. They'll be wanting to hang on to that second spot, because I think that will give them the opportunity of a grand final appearance. I think if they drop out of the top the top two. Whoever they go to in the semi away from home, that could be their Achilles heel. I think they need that home semi-final, so they're going to need to really kick on from this point. Saints are not a million miles behind them now in terms of points difference, and maybe Catalan will be hoping that Warrington Wolves can do him a favour on Friday, but I have to say I still fancy the Saints to win that one. So all in all, a pretty drab affair at Trinity. You know, God bless them all. We wish them well in the Championship next season. And that's been in the sheds. You know, were you there? What were your thoughts on it? Can't really get too excited about this one if the truth was to be known. Always a solemn day when we lose dear friends going down to the Championship. But hey, oh, you know, good luck Wakefield, and who knows, we may be seeing you again in 2025. So that's in the sheds. Wakefield 10, Catalan Dragons 18. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.